Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Jesse, you're watching JL's Comics. Today we're doing a movie review, spoiler free of course, for Glass. Glass is the latest PG-13 thriller from director M. Night Shyamalan, and the movie at just over 2 hours stars Sarah Paulson, James McAvoy, Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, Anya Taylor-Joy. Such a good cast. What a powerhouse cast. If this is your first time here, I upload weekly superhero, comic book, movie-related content, so feel free to subscribe. And if you like this particular video, don't forget to hit the like button as well. Okay, so this trilogy, 19 years in the making. Glass is actually the climax of a story that started with 2000's Unbreakable, continued to 2016 Split, finally here concluding in 2019 with Glass. And this is unprecedented achievement given the length of that, but that's not the only thing that makes it unprecedented. This is produced by actually two different studios, Disney and Universal. Normally pulling characters and stories into these two to make one story would be impossible, but this is the first time that these two studios decided to collaborate and work together on this. So again, unprecedented. But until now, David Dunn, an alliterative name of comic book proportions, merely cameoed at the end of Split. Shyamalan's next challenge was to weave these two twisted tales, seemingly disparate tales, together. And he does, and it does make sense. However, it feels somewhat forced. And after an action-filled first act, the pace slows down considerably as Jackson's Mr. Glass, Bruce Willis as the Overseer, are relegated to the confines of Dr. Staples' asylum, played by Sarah Paulson, of course, another great actress. The focus turns to Paulson, and it actually takes a while for Willis and Jackson to interact in a very significant way. One thing I'll say about the movie is that the cast are at the top of their game. Their performances are absolutely top-notch. Everybody just performed, turned out phenomenal performances. When you're with the likes of Sarah Paulson, Bruce Willis, Sam Jackson, who are frequent scene stealers, it's really hard to stand out. But James McAvoy as the Horde is fantastic and most definitely gave us a standout performance for this movie. He's a highlight here, especially during the second act. We get to see a lot of him going between his different personalities. Phenomenal. There's a long kind of unbroken scene. It doesn't split. See what I did there? And it becomes kind of tedious after a while. We've taken all this time, 19 years, to accept that these three people are superheroes. And it's kind of a little bit jarring for me that Dr. Staple kind of takes so much time in the film trying to convince us otherwise. We don't really know why she has that motivation until much later. So for most of this, we're wondering, like, why does she care so much about this? And though this is spoiler free, I will say it wouldn't be a Shyamalan movie without some good twists. And also, I did want to mention that I do like the visual aspect of this. There's green, yellow, and purple representation. That worked pretty well for me. So overall, Glass is fun at times, creepy at other times, exciting. It can be slow and kind of tense at other times. And, the way that M. Night Shyamalan does with a lot of his movies, it's a slowly ratcheted tension, kind of a slow burn. The saga overall, called the Unbreakable Saga, is kind of a statement on comic books and superhero tropes and what that means for society. But that's kind of devoid from this movie. It's a bit uninspired and I would say myopic, especially some of these long monologue scenes. It's devoid of those kind of intense monologues that made something like Unbreakable so great. That great speech that Sam Jackson gave in Unbreakable. We don't really have kind of moments like that, but it does make that attempt to kind of make those. And the other thing I'll say is that Unbreakable came out at a time when the superhero film genre was kind of in its infancy. It wasn't legitimized yet. People didn't take it seriously. And then Unbreakable came along. It wasn't a crowded field like it is now, with so many quality movies winning awards, touching on psychological and social issues. It just felt special and unique. This movie has less of that statement and a much more crowded field, and because of that, the movie itself feels less special and I would say less unique as well. So spoiler free, but the ending for this movie will be, and I know it's purposely done this way, and again, a Shyamalan movie, but it will be very divisive. For me, Unfortunately, it wasn't what I was hoping for. And if it wasn't for the stellar acting in this, the movie for me would have scored much lower. My score for this, I always do a 10-point scale, 6.5 out of 10 stars. Definitely let me know what you think down below once you see it. So let's continue that conversation, down there in the comment section. Am I way off? Did I miss something? Try to keep it spoiler free. Do you completely disagree with me? It wasn't a horrible movie, but it did have a lot of areas where it could have been improved. In terms of Shyamalan's movies, if we were going to rank them, I would put this somewhere in the range of Signs. It wasn't as great as Unbreakable, and it certainly wasn't as bad as Lady in the Water. So kind of give you an idea, it's sort of mid-range in terms of Shyamalan's filmography. But that's it. This is Jesse here with JL's Comics. This has been a movie review for 2019's film Glass. I'll see you in the next video.